Would you have preferred that your mother grew up here in the United States or in somewhere where the laws against women are very regressive? So in India, for example, or in another country where it's not as good, would you have preferred your mother to grow up there or here?
When have I made an advocation for repressive laws?
I mean, you're saying women shouldn't be in the workforce.
When? Oh, bro, holy fuck.
We had a whole thing about
You are
it.
so
Women
fucking
should be
bad
taking
faith.
care of kids, not
I
working.
literally
What are we
didn't say
talking
that.
about here?
I was asking what's better for the children.
Did your mother work?
Yeah, she did.
Was it bad for you?
I think it would have been, honestly, I love my mother, but I do think that it would have been perhaps a better dynamic had she not been working.
Do you think she would have been happier not working?
Well, I think there's a certain degree of when there's propaganda that tries to say you can't be happy unless you do X, and people buy into those sort of narratives, then you could certainly make the case that if somebody doesn't do what the propaganda says you should do, they'll be unhappy because of it.
So you would have been happier
But-
if your mother didn't have a career?
Hold on. If there
Yeah.
was, would I have been happier?
Yes, as a kid. You would have been happier if your mother didn't go to work.
Being around the person you love every day.
Look, just to be clear, I had
Person that's
a
supposed to
fantastic
support you,
mom.
yeah.
I had a
Okay.
fantastic mom.
Okay.
But was she perhaps more stressed out because of her work?
Would she have been less stressed out in a country with less rights for her?
I'm not sure precisely.
That was the
what-
hypothetical
I'm not
I
sure
posed.
precisely what fallacy.
I'm saying, would you have rather
you're
your mother
committing here?
was in a country like Iran or here?
Well, hold on. There's
does
all
that matter?
kinds of determinations for, like, for example, you would agree that there are certain countries that do certain things better.
What does Iran do better in relation to
Hold on.
women? Yeah.
You're so fucking bad faith. Holy shit.
I'm mimicking you.
No, you're not mimicking me at all. You would realize that there are certain countries that might do certain things better, but that in totality you would still want somebody to live in a specific country? That, like, in totality that country's better, but perhaps, like, whatever?
Okay, would you have liked your mom to have less rights to do things?
That wasn't your original question. It wasn't.
I changed the question. I changed the question.
the question
I
trying to
changed the
get
Would you rather her
question.
be home or not? And then it's
Like
like,
you're
okay,
trying
As
to
someone
get
who
him to
loves his
answer.
mother, would you have wanted her to have less rights as a human
Would
being?
you want her at home
That's
or in
not what
Saudi
you asked
Arabia?
him.
It's like not the question.
Hold on.
I can change
Women
the
can have the
Oh
women can have the choice. I'm fine with women having the choice. But if you're asking me about, like, what I think is perhaps better for society, I think it is better for society for women to perhaps put more of a priority towards family and children over career.
Well, I'm not necessarily arguing that. I'm just arguing women should have the choice to decide whether they want to do that or the other thing.
Look, you can look back to previous conversations. I've continuously stated, what's that?
Sorry.
I've continuously made statements about how I think for example, I think we should, and when I use this word, I mean it in the best light way possible of this word. I think that we should be exploiting women's genius and intellect to tackle things like, we should have female researchers trying to tackle cancer. I think we should be pushing as much people as possible towards fixing current problems in society. And if that means having the intellect and genius of women tackling problems like cancer research or other illnesses, I think that that's fantastic.
Okay, so we have no disagreement then.
Right, but when it comes, I do think it is the case descriptively that I do think children fare better when there's the mother in the household and they're not getting the kids aren't getting sent to childcare.
Okay, I agree with that too. I'm just saying
Okay.
there needs to be the option.
Yes, I'm fine with the choice.
Okay. That's
But I think there's been what I'm trying to say is I'm fine with women who if they want to work, but I think there's been like too much propaganda in that direction.
Listen, I'm not for every single thing that whatever current day modern feminism is saying. I'm not pro every single point. I just have a certain elemental thing that we agree on, that there should be the choice.
Right, there should be a choice.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about, okay, well, what could potentially be best for society? I don't know necessarily if it's the best thing for society for women to, like, postpone giving birth to children into their 30s and postponing starting a family.
Well, there's a reason a lot of women postpone having kids. It's because they're in long relationships with men generally who then do not want to marry them or have kids with them, and that ruins their 20s. That's a real thing. You can look that up too.
Okay, let's give some of the other panelists some opportunity here. I want to be fair, although now there's Pacey George is pissed off at you.
You fucking goddamn it.
So here, Pacey George, fuck it, Brian, just get chair 2, 100 burritos already, and move on. She's worse than Priscilla and other bad faith idiots like her.
Okay.
Excuse me. Pacey George, by the way, is a Canadian First Nations tribe guy. Tribe guy? What the fuck is that? I don't know.
I'm sorry.
All right, around 2.2 million men were drafted in the Vietnam War, sent off to fight in a pointless conflict, and came home ridden with PTSD and other issues just to be greater by men and women calling them murderers and spitting in their face, at least the ones who made it home. Yep. Oh, also, I kind of want to move it on. You said, when I brought up forced military conscription, you said, well, there hasn't been a draft in such a long time. I do want to quickly point out that the most recent draft, while it was a long time ago, was in Vietnam. And to his point, there would be men who would still be alive today had it not been for them being drafted in Vietnam. There are men who are currently dead today. Well, they were dead.
There's men who are currently dead because they were in the Peloponnesian War. There's a lot of men a long time ago who died in a lot of wars.
Right.
I don't know what the argument is.
We're talking
Men who are
about
forced.
recency. We're
It's
talking
not
about
that recent. That's a pretty long time ago.
Oh, okay, cool. I love
the
the logic.
70s?
Cool. Slavery also happened a long time
In
ago.
your lifetime, have you been drafted?
Watch. Let's engage with this. There hasn't been slavery in a really, really long time. Should we discount black people's, grievances as it relates to slavery? Because it happened a really long time ago?
Or it's almost like men made those.
Hold on, let's let her answer.
Sorry.
If men didn't go to war, right?
No,
what would
no.
you be doing?
Hold on. Okay, your argument
Men
is...
sending other men to war, yeah.
Your
What?
argument is
Yeah.
Vietnam War, long time ago, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so by your logic, slavery happens a long time ago,
I
so
get
it doesn't matter?
You identify
Nope,
with black
answer.
people who want reparations for slavery. You want reparations for the draft, right? Because it hasn't happened in your lifetime, but you want reparations for it.
Wow, this
Yeah.
is a great fallacious argument here. Why don't you answer
I'm
my
making
question?
a joke. Yeah. Sorry.
Or just answer the question.
I don't know. You have a problem with the fact that in your lifetime there hasn't been a draft, but there was a draft in the
Am I not-
70s.
Hold on, am I not allowed to advocate? Hold on. So by your logic, if a black person current day was not a slave, they can't have criticisms of slavery?
Yes, they can have criticisms of slavery.
Okay, great. So I, as a man, can advocate on behalf of other men who have
Sure.
historically experienced something bad.
Do you want to abolish the military? What is your point?
That's what I gathered from
Or do you just want women to equally be drafted?